Hello again, everyone. This is American Idioms Part 147. This is Part 147 in my American Idiom series. And like the others, I'll present 5 idioms to you numbered 731 to 735. But first, I'll give you a chance to guess their meanings. Then I'll give you the answers along with an additional example for each new idiom. I also recommend that you pause the video at each question to give yourself some extra time to think of the answers. So, are you ready? Okay, here we go. Number 731. Check out something. And the example is if you like classic cars, you should check out the car show in town this weekend. Can you guess the meaning? And the answer is A, to investigate, inspect, or look at something of interest. Like in our example, where he's saying, well, you should go investigate this car show if you like classic cars. All right. Check out this car show. This is how this is used. It's used a lot, and check out can mean many different things. But in this particular context, it means to investigate. All right. Here's another example. We checked out that new restaurant in the downtown area of the city last night, and we were impressed by the food and the service. Okay, they investigated this new restaurant, they checked it out, right? And they were impressed. Okay, now for number 732, do an about face. And the example is YouTube did an about face on their censorship policy last month, and many people were very happy about it. Can you guess the meaning? And the answer here is C, to completely reverse one's opinion or position regarding some issue. This is what an about face is. You completely reverse what you were going to do. In our example, they're talking about how YouTube did an about face on their censorship policy, right? They reversed their opinion. They changed their opinion completely. That's what an about face is. Okay? Here's another example. The mayor did an about face on his zoning policy after many businesses in the area pressured him. So, in the example, the businesses in this area were very upset about the mayor's policy on how they were zoning things. So the mayor, under pressure, did an about face. He reversed his opinion, or he reversed, in this case, his policy. Got it? All right. Now for number 733, collect dust. And the example is I used to go bowling every weekend, but I have been too busy at work to do it anymore. So my bowling ball is collecting dust in my closet. Can you guess the meaning? And the answer here is C, to be in a state of disuse for a prolonged period of time, meaning you don't use it for a long time. And usually, if we don't use something for a long time, it collects dust, literally. Okay, but we use it figuratively and literally. In this case, it could be either way because in the example, this person didn't go bowling for a long time. So his bowling ball that was in his closet could have been actually collecting dust, meaning that dust would cover the ball because it wasn't being used. Here's another example. Ever since I injured my hand, my guitar has been collecting dust in my bedroom. Same situation where you're not using something for a long time. This person injured his hand and he couldn't play the guitar. So his guitar just sat in his bedroom collecting dust. Got it. Now for number 734, a whole different ball of wax. And the example is Penn was a great wrestler in high school, but he didn't do so well in college because competing at that level was a whole different ball of wax for him. Can you guess the meaning? And the answer here is B, something very different from something else. That's what it means if something is a whole different ball of wax. In our example, Ken was great at wrestling when he was in high school, but when he went to college, it was a whole different ball of wax for him because competing at that level was very different from competing in high school. Here's another example. I love going fishing in the pond behind my house because it is so easy for me. But I went fishing in the ocean last week and it was a whole different ball of wax. All right, what are we doing here? We're comparing fishing in a pond to fishing in the ocean, which are two different kinds of things. Well, different kinds of skills, maybe. To fish, pond is a small little amount of water you're fishing in compared to this gigantic ocean, right? It's a whole different ball of wax. And now for our final idiom, number 735, and also ran. And the example is the mayoral candidate was very young and quite popular, but he finished as a mere also ran in the primary last night. Can you guess the meaning? And the answer here is C, someone who is unimportant or unsuccessful. Now, this is used when there's many people competing in a race or a competition and the person doesn't come in first, second, or third place. We say that they are an also ran. They ran like everybody else, but they're not special. They're not important because they didn't do anything in the race. So, in the example, we're talking about how this candidate for the mayor in a primary election was a young guy, quite popular, but he didn't do that well. He didn't win. In this case, he was just like everybody else that ran in the race and didn't win. So he was unsuccessful and really unimportant. Okay. He was what we call an also ran. Here's another example. For every great actor who has won an Academy Award, there are thousands of also rans whose performances in films are quickly forgotten. This is very true, isn't it? You probably have seen many actors in films who have never won an Academy Award and they're quickly forgotten. The main actors usually get the award, but these other actors, they're just also rans. Got it? That's all for this video. Thanks again for subscribing, and please like and share the video to support the channel And remember what I always say, keep practicing. See you next time.